first rule of being the hotel inspector is never assume you've seen it all. What is this place?
Thought I was coming to some gangbanging convention.
I'm Alex Polizzi and I'm an award-winning hotelier.
Hello!
But it's Britain's worst hotels that give me sleepless nights.
There's a stench in here.
I just check on the cesspit.
This place just depresses me. I've seen the bizarre.
I've got loo roll envy. That's never happened to me before.
The ridiculous.
Why would you have a poo brown feature wall?
And the downright ugly.
Ah! This has to rank as one of the ugliest rooms I've ever seen.
I've brought countless hotels back from the brink. Hoteliers think they know what to expect from me. But I'm coming more prepared than ever.
This is my first attempt at covert ops.
No, I've had enough.
You've had enough. You have had enough.
Stick up for your business, for God's sake. Clearly what I need to do is maybe punch him once or twice in the face.
You can't be told.
Tell what?
You want to have an argument on the
No,
train?
we won't finish all the rooms, right?
How do you work out what your occupancy is?
I don't know how to do that.
For God's sake. So struggling with this.
This week, a luxury B&B.
Ooh, this is a nice room.
Run by ex-lovers who are close to the edge.
Well, you're a genius. Why don't you do it all?
It's a dictatorship.
They're hemorrhaging money.
As a business person, it really deeply offends me that you don't think that this stuff is worth focusing on.
And between them, they're killing their business.
I've never met anyone more unbusinesslike in all my life.
I've come to the historic city of Bath.
This is one of my favourite parts of the world, and of course I'm not alone in that. There were over 4 million visitors to Bath in 2014 and almost 1 million overnight visitors, so it's a pretty popular attraction.
A 20-minute cab ride from the city centre is the house near Bath. A 10-room country house luxury B&B, providing guests with nothing but the best.
It's all natural. They're not the cheapest, but it's worth it.
Run by former Hong Kong high society party planner Rowena Smith.
Susan.
Susan, hi, welcome.
For the last 10 years, Rowena has played hostess with the mostest, creating the perfect atmosphere for her guests.
Would you like more tea? Another pot of tea? It's not your normal hotel. It's very laid back. We don't really do times and restrictions because I do see my guests as friends. It's more like being part of a house party. I think I'm an alcoholic and I hope everyone drinks the same pace I do. Cheers. You know, I almost feel as if I should pay them because they're providing me with my weekend entertainment.
Rowena's hospitality is at the heart of the B&B, and online it gets her rave reviews. Despite the glowing guest approval, the B&B is running at a colossal loss, and I've been called in to help.
According to the reviews, you just cannot fault it. I mean, they are unanimously glowing. So what the hell is going wrong there? I really don't know.
Ah, another delivery. Probably more friggin' mirrors. How many mirrors can a person want? It should be a mirror shop rather than a B&B.
Mike Peck is Rowena's long-suffering business partner.
I really hope it is the ones that I'd ordered for down here. It may not be a mirror.
It is a mirror, Rowena.
They're not mine. I don't remember ordering this.
He also happens to be Rowena's former lover.
She does have a habit of going out and buying things and just seeing mirrors and stuff like that and buying it.
Mike and Rowena share the running of the hotel, but the look of it is Rowena's department, and despite their financial strife, Mike struggles to rein his ex, Rowena, in.
Do you think I went online and just thought I need 2 more mirrors?
Mike doesn't have the passion I have for the hotel. What he thinks is important, I don't.
For Rowena, creating the perfect atmosphere for her B&B is paramount. In the last 2 years, she has spent £80,000 renovating it.
Rowena's idea would be probably to build a health club, pool and everything, get a name chef in here.
But despite Rowena's grand plans, the number of guests coming to stay has dwindled. And last year, the business lost over £35,000.
I show her the count and try to go through with it, but it's all sort of over the head.
I don't like talking money with anyone, even with the guests. I don't like taking money from them.
Need a younger man doing this, you know.
We've got to the stage now that we close off the rooms at weekends. It's soul-destroying.
Now the hotel and a decade-long partnership is on the brink.
My idea would put probably a for sale sign up.
It'd be very hard to part with this.
Turning this place around and getting to the bottom of why it's not working is going to be one of my toughest challenges yet.
The house, quirky B&B. Suddenly my heart is starting to sink.
A name like The House is about as bland as they come. That'll need to go.
The signage was not what I was expecting. There's a ghastly, tacky, down-market sign that says, "Sleep with us," which sounds like some wife-swapping convention.
I'm very nervous about Alex coming. I don't want to face the problem. I don't want to know the bad news.
Hello, I'm Alex.
I'm Rowena. Shall I get you signed in?
Yes. Can I see your booking book?
Yes. You won't like it.
Well, it's not particularly
Orderly.
way of
I have to
doing it.
say, on that part, Mike can take the blame for most of that. That's him more than me. He's the one that's very disorderly with those. You see, most of them are his writing.
How do you work out what your occupancy is?
I don't know how to do that.
You've been here 10 years and you don't know how to do occupancy.
I'm not good at all at the business side. I might have looked at the accounts once.
The alarm bells are already ringing. Rowena might try and shift blame onto Mike, but she should know how many heads she's had on beds. It's the crux of the entire hotel trade.
So you like the social aspect of the hotel?
Yes.
But you don't really enjoy the business side?
No, I hate the business. It's probably the smallest of our house rooms, but it's got probably the best view.
Light.
It's the only room where you can shower and look at the sheep at the same time.
Where did the tagline "Sleep with us" come from?
I just thought of it. Why not?
I thought I was coming to some gangbanging convention.
I didn't say me, I said sleep with us.
I know, that's why it's risque. The more the merrier.
And we
Keys into the hat, boys.
Of course, taglines should be memorable, but they should also be easy to understand. Saying "sleep with us" sends out a rather confusing message. Thankfully, when it comes to the rooms, Rowena's got better taste.
That's absolutely beautiful. Lovely room.
The house has 10 well-sized bedrooms ranging from £88 to £148 a night.
Ooh, this is a nice room. Ooh, very James Bond.
The rooms are lovely, but the wealth of extras are more at home in a hotel than a B&B.
This is the first B&B that I've ever had a minibar, and a very chic minibar it is too. Gosh, the water's complimentary. That's an extra lot of money.
Even the basics are from high-end suppliers.
Sewing kit, vanity kit, shower cap, conditioner, shampoo, soap and bath gel. I just don't actually think all of this is necessary, especially not when you're not making money.
Rowena's added extras upstairs make for a pleasant stay, but her choice of personal possessions downstairs doesn't.
This is the most important room, the bar.
I wouldn't disagree with you.
Most surfaces are filled with Rowena's well-travelled souvenir collection.
There's a lot of stuff in here. I mean, you must admit that there's quite a lot of bits. You know my views on schmutter, and I just think that it has a place in one's personal house. I mean, just as an example, like what are... Certainly the downstairs, the boundaries are slightly blurred. Every cupboard is just jam-packed full of stuff.
I don't see this as a hotel. I find it really hard to see. I just see it as my house. Ah, the ladies have come in just in time.
Yes. With just
a glass of wine.
I'm not the only guest that's checked in for the night. The B&B has a bar, and I'm about to see our hostess in action.
You can see I've spent most of my life on the other side of the bar. I'm not good at opening. I normally get one of the guests to do this.
I feel like I've arrived at Rowena's party, not her hotel.
She obviously thinks of it as her house, which isn't particularly healthy for the business.
I think it's time I get the man of the house's view on things.
Hello, Mike. I was slightly horrified to find out from Rowena that she doesn't know how to work out occupancy.
No, well, she wouldn't. Financial matters elude her. Yeah.
And do you keep a tight rein on spends and things like that?
I try to, but it's not always easy. If you can buy one, why not buy 10?
So which bits do you like about the business?
The sale sign, going up there, the for sale sign when it goes up, probably.
Oh dear. If one half of this partnership wants to sell up, turning this place around and getting Mike and Rowena to pull together is going to take a miracle. I've checked into an enchanting 10-bedroom B&B, the house near Bath.
Okay, next one.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm drinking that fast. In this place, yes.
The B&B gets glowing reviews, but it's losing money, hand over fist. And Mike, the co-owner, wants to put it up for sale.
Sort it out later.
Its lavish hostess, Rowena, has asked for my help. So tonight, I'm going to watch her in action.
This is probably the best one to start with, then, because I think the other...
I've filled the place with paying guests.
Oh, do you want pink lemon?
And Rowena's holding court behind the bar.
It's agony watching you open a bottle. Please don't open a bottle. Please take the foil off properly, darling.
She may not be the best barmaid, but the bar is a great asset. There's a healthy margin on wine and spirits, so it can really help bolster the coffers.
What would you like?
But rather oddly, Rowena hasn't taken any money.
White, red.
Or written a bill.
I've never met anyone more unbusinesslike in all my life.
Have you had the second one yet? No, have I given you the second one?
Several bottles later, and it's clear to me that this is a free bar. I can't quite believe it.
Cheers, lovely to see you, ladies.
She did not write down one drink. That is a lot of free drinks. I mean, she has got to be made to realise why this place isn't making any money.
The next morning, I want to find out if the bottles of wine, beers and spirits Rowena served last night have made it onto the room bills.
Give me the bill for last night. Do you know what we drank?
We don't really do bills here.
Oh, you are kidding me. Now, okay, tot it up here in front of me.
Oh, do you know, I can honestly say that other nights, I can even remember the next day, more or less everything I served. I don't even remember serving it. I really don't remember that.
You need to write it down as it happens. To make sure that you bill every single drink. 2 bottles of the Pinot Grigio. Do you know what else there was? I find it hard to believe Rowena had no idea, but actually, given her face and the embarrassment, I'm forced to believe it.
Instead of making money from her guests, Rowena's happy to let them drink her profits away. It's all rather worrying.
She considers these people to become her friends too quickly, and this to be part of her social life, and it's not. There's no price list here. How do I know what anything costs? I suggest price list here.
Yes.
Price list in the rooms.
That is a very good idea. I will do that.
It focuses the mind about the fact that people are coming here into a commercial establishment rather than someone's house. You make a nice environment here, but it's a pound, shilling and pence that we need to keep track of.
With the first lesson of the day dealt with, I'm starving. Despite this being a B&B for an average of £100 a night, I'm faced with an all-inclusive banquet.
This is a lovely big buffet, then, isn't it? There's everything that you could want for on it. Every juice under the sun, which is very nice to me, but possibly not quite so brilliant for their bank balance.
And if I'm not full up by the buffet, there is also a long breakfast menu cooked up by Mike.
You can tell him it finishes at 8:30. Chef's off. Got things to do.
You've got nothing to do.
I got things to do. I've got to do the accounts. That won't take long.
You know, I know how much these little pots cost. I wonder if they do.
There's everything from smoked salmon to eggs Florentine at no additional cost, and all made with the very finest ingredients.
Delicious. Mike is definitely doing a good job.
With a full belly, I retire to my lovely room to take stock.
What has become more and more evident to me over the last 24 hours is that it's just extravagance on a ridiculous scale.
From high-end extras to frivolous freebies.
I like generosity to a customer. I think that they have really got to learn where to draw the line there.
Rowena and Mike give things away as if this were a luxury hotel. From bountiful breakfast to water to wine. Even five-star hotels don't give guests a free bar. A closer look at their finances reveals the true cost of their excessive spending.
It's obvious why they're losing money. Their sales in 2015 were about £2,000 a week, and their expenses were £2,677 a week. So kind of ergo. I mean, any idiot understands that you have to make more than you spend to make money, and if the opposite is true, then you lose money. It's very easy to understand.
But it's a concept Rowena and Mike are failing to grasp. It's time I hammer it home before their business goes down the pan.
You're going to make, in a month, about 2,370 quid. And on your current expenses, you're spending £300 more than that a month. So, you know, that's a problem. Do not give away drinks. You make everyone pay for every single bloody thing they consume.
Next on my list is the crucial question of occupancy.
First of all, you've got to understand about occupancy and how easy it is to work out. You've got a certain number of rooms, you've got a certain number of room nights a month. Put the number of rooms you actually sell over the number of rooms you had to sell.
Right.
Yeah, so it's quite easy. Because I have worked out that if you're run on less than 30% occupancy, you're losing money.
We need to get the number of guests up, but first Rowena and Mike have to get the business basics right. When you have as few guests as they do, simple things like knowing exactly how much it costs you to provide a room for the night, including everything from heating to laundry costs, is crucial to turning a profit.
You know, you must have an idea how much a room costs.
No, I wouldn't know how much the total is. I never really added it up.
Oh, you are kidding me. As a business person, it really deeply offends me that you don't think that this stuff is worth focusing on. Oh, darling, that's really naughty.
Yeah, I never really did it.
I don't want it to upset you.
No, I mean, it's silly. I should know that. In fact, I should have even thought that you might ask me that. I should have tried to work it out. But I never really thought about it.
You think about this place as your home.
And
And then it's because it's your home, so money, no object. The blinkers have got to come off. You can't run a business and lose money year after year. You can't run a business and tell me that you don't look at the figures. That's what a business is about. She's really been unforgivably lax.
But Mike should have had a firmer grip on Rowena. This is a business partnership.
Mike?
Ex-lovers or not, they've got to start working together or the business simply won't survive.
We should do a budget. All the figures have to be real. They can't be wrong, because otherwise we might as well not bother.
I mean, you can cut costs if you want to cut costs, like Alex said. I mean, if you want to cut costs on the yogurts, we pay 68p.
No.
Things like
Don't,
if you want to do that.
don't.
No, I'm just saying if you want
twist
to. No, I'm just saying
my
if you want to cut
words,
costs.
Mike. I'm not talking about cutting costs by getting a cheaper brand. I'm talking about like for like. Okay? I don't want to go cheaper on the yogurts. No. There's always somebody cheaper than someone else, you know, so but you can do all that, because I don't like doing things like that.
My advice seems to have put the cat amongst the pigeons.
You know, I have enough to worry about. If you could take that off me, then I can concentrate on the other things, you know, and then I won't get so stressed either.
I think you will.
But what I'm slightly concerned about is that her and Mike don't seem to be getting on very well. It's always easier to blame someone else. They've got to be more professional, both of them, about every aspect of this business.
Rowena and Mike need to put their differences aside and realise they could be sitting on a gold mine. Bath is a tourist hotspot. The average occupancy a whopping 83%. But despite the many charms of this B&B, Mike and Rowena's occupancy rates have halved in the last 5 years, and they have been shockingly reluctant to market their business online.
We don't advertise it at all. We just hope that people find us.
Road signage is their only advert, and it's woeful.
This is one of my least favourite signs that I have ever seen. Don't advertise yourselves as quirky, darling. I mean, people will drive by at high speed to avoid quirky. The only thing I hate more than that sign is sleep with us. Driving along, you think it's very odd, sleep with us. On its own like that, it's not a tagline, it's a command.
And a bland, nondescript name like The House simply won't get them noticed in a hotel mecca like Bath.
You know, the fact that it says, oh, the house near Bath doesn't help anything, anywhere. That is your shop window, your signage on the road, yes?
Yes.
Your virtual identity is your other shop window, and it is just pathetic. Your website consists of one page. I mean, if there's a trick, you've missed it. I mean...
My only worry is having too nice a website. I don't want people to come here and then feel let down.
The point is that you've got to get the sales up. That is the basic story here. The sales are halved since 2011. Halved. My usual mantra is under-promise and over-deliver, but Rowena takes that to the nth degree.
If Rowena and Mike stand any chance of saving their B&B, they need to start working together to run this place as their business, not as their home. That means stripping back Rowena's souvenirs and upping the occupancy with proper promotion.
Thank you very much.
They've got plenty to be getting on with, and obviously I'm going to help them as much as I can.
Bye, Alex.
But ultimately, it's going to be down to them being willing to do violence to their natural characteristics.
It's very hard to have somebody tell you things that you think are good and someone tells you they're naff. The fact that so many things she said, she was right, upsets me. If 9 out of 10 I hadn't agreed with, I'd almost be happier.
The first thing Rowena and Mike decide to tackle is their dull anodyne name by conjuring up an alternative that will actually help promote the B&B and attract more guests.
Marge. Yes. Hello. We need you. Brainstorming.
They've enlisted their housekeeper and handyman to help. In the hotel heartland of Bath, a name like The House gets lost in the crowd.
So, what are we going to call ourselves? We do confuse, don't we? So we need a name.
Rasputin?
Oh, no. Sounds like a pub to me. I'm not sure whether...
To stand out, they need a unique name. An obvious starting point would be the origins of their gorgeous setting.
It was a rectory, and before that it was a monastery.
Was it?
Well, I was doing Misty Mooring.
Misty Mooring, that's right, yeah.
But we don't really have a mooring here. Unless...
No.
I'm not convinced.
They're not getting anywhere.
You're a genius. Why don't you do it all? Go on, you do it. You work it out, OK?
And this is only the beginning.
Dimer?
No, I didn't really like it because I don't...
Fixing a failing business is a mammoth task, especially when you're trying to do it with your ex. I hope Mike and Rowena's relationship can take it.
We disagree on certain things.
That's why I wouldn't dream of getting involved.
Why do you have to let me do it all? That's the stress that I have here. I feel like I'm doing it all. And I take it out on Mike,
I'm a battery round. That's all I am.
I have set owners of the house near Bath, Mike and Rowena, the task of knuckling down to the dirty business of making money. No more freebies, and they've got to start promoting their business to get much-needed new guests, beginning with a new name.
I have here an email from Rowena talking about possible names instead of the house near Bath. They've thrown out all names apart from the idea of renaming it the Mad Monk. The Mad Monk has a more relaxed and laid-back sound. Yes, and mad sound. The Mad Monk B&B is just as bad as the house quirky B&B. Honestly, I would not go to stay somewhere called the Mad Monk. Just wrong on so many levels.
Quirky names repel more people than they attract. To get guests through the door, a name should be special, not strange. It's time to get professional. I'm sending Rowena and Mike to a design company who will create a new logo, website and signage for them. But without a name, they can't begin to rebrand and properly promote the business.
I don't really think of you as a mad monk.
Do you like the word quirky, B&B?
No, I don't like that. And the house near Bath doesn't really tell people an awful lot about your personality. Without having a name as a starting point, it's very difficult to move further on than that. So we need to be thinking about that ASAP.
A new identity will get more people through the door, but unless Rowena and Mike get to grips with the financial running of the business, they will always struggle to make a healthy profit. So, I'm taking them to a successful B&B in Bath to see how a hard-nosed business owner operates.
I think one of the biggest issues I've got to grapple with is Rowena's lack of business sense. She doesn't have enough idea about the kind of financials around what it costs to put on a room, what the breakfast costs are. It's all a bit woody.
And Mike doesn't seem to be much better either. 3 Abbey Green is similarly priced to Rowena and Mike's B&B, but the way it's run is worlds apart.
We looked at every element of the cost in the room, from things like the gas and the electricity, through to the time it took the girls to do the room, through to the tea trays, through to the mortgage, so that we knew precisely what that room was costing us, so we knew what our minimum ask was for a room, really.
And this is something that I'm really keen for you guys to do.
And when it comes to decor, nothing is done on a whim.
How long did it take you to plan and execute this bathroom?
About nine months.
Note to self.
Yes.
Budget, budget, budget. Without that, you're sailing a ship into the dark without a map or a compass, hoping luck will keep you alive, on a wing and a prayer. It may be boring, but a budget may be the only thing that keeps you afloat when others around you are sinking. I'm going to challenge you now to work out what it costs you to put on a room.
A room.
Yeah.
It would be interesting to see how much we're making on each room, because we don't even know.
This is the one area where you really have to be, you've got to be on top of it. Knowledge is power. And that's the whole point of this exercise. I'm trying to empower Rowena. I'm trying to make her feel as if she's in control of her own fate.
I actually think this is Mike's responsibility. He could have done this. This is something he could have done.
I can do
You could
the
easily have
budget,
done it. Yeah, but why didn't you?
You have to sort of...
Yeah, but why didn't you do it? No, just the budget.
It's a learning curve now, isn't it?
You should have sat down and said, yeah, I'll do it. It's not a working partnership.
Despite my advice for Rowena to work with Mike to focus on the finances, she's trying to shirk the job and has turned her attention back to the bit she enjoys, the creative side, by inviting the designers over to talk names.
Old Canton House.
Okay.
You know, it doesn't really mean that people will think of China.
It's quite random. You don't want to sound like you're a Chinese takeaway.
Unfortunately, Rowena's ideas haven't got any better, and Mike has been sidelined to the kitchen.
I don't know quite what she's thinking about. This thing about having consultation, anything, forget it. There's a unilateral state here, and yeah, it's a dictatorship.
3 Bs.
No.
And now Rowena is vetoing ideas from the pros.
the ha-ha bar. I think I know where this is going as well.
I don't like any of them.
I'm on the warpath. With very little progress on the name and any of my other requests, I'm losing patience.
They have really dillied and dallied and shillied and shallied over this. I think I have to wade in with my great big boots on.
Hello?
You're not supposed to be here.
Well, am I not?
Rowena's latest idea is to name the B&B after a spring used to brew beer by monks on their land when it was a monastery.
This is your branding. So this is what is supposed to get people's attention.
I want it to be Monk Spring because
I think it should just be monks.
Is there a connotation that a spring is a spa and therefore misleading?
Yeah.
Which one do you prefer then, Rowena? Come on.
Monk Spring.
Monk Spring, near Bath Bar, bed and breakfast.
Why are you focused on the spring?
Because that's where water for our pond comes from.
The whole point about an effective brand is that it says something to you without you having to think about it too much.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that.
And especially when it's a product like a bed and breakfast.
I think it's going to be Monk Spring.
It isn't the name that I would have chosen, but I think it will do the job. Ultimately, it is their business. They've got to explain it to guests. If they're happy to do that, then, you know, all good luck to them.
It's been several weeks since I first visited the house near Bath.
How's it going then?
Well, I think I've got everything.
Yeah, should have a look.
And the agreement on the new name seems to have caused a breakthrough. Rather than leaving it to Mike, Rowena is adding up what it costs them to provide a room for the night.
Tissues.
Kleenex, yeah. Obviously we've got the bedding, which you've got down here.
And it's not just the basics Rowena is including in the tally.
Staff costs, cleaning materials, mortgage insurance rates, laundry and towels, the TV licence.
It's taken 10 years of running the B&B, but Rowena and Mike now know it costs them about £65 to give a guest a room for the night.
On the occupancy that we've got, we make very little money.
It's a joke, isn't it? It's scary knowing how much a room costs. I had no idea.
It's the wake-up call I was hoping for. Now they're finally getting serious about making money. The free bar will be a thing of the past. Rowena's created a price list for drinks so guests will know theirs isn't on the house.
It's a bit frightening. We've got to start thinking along the lines of the fact that it's a business. And I think I will get there. Eventually.
And it's not just Rowena who's undergoing a massive change.
We should take away the things that are more personal.
The communal areas are being cleared of the clutter.
I don't really like this one. Declutter, declutter, declutter.
Souvenirs and private belongings are being banished.
Get rid of that, we can get rid of that.
It does clutter up the place. So, yeah, I think it's a good idea. I really do.
Looks better already, Rowena.
I know.
But it's not all change. The squabbles show no sign of abating.
I have arranged them. Okay, look, that's why I don't want you messing around my bar. These are spirit perfectionists and he's not.
She demands perfection, and sadly I don't offer that perfection.
Just leave them as they are. I'm just not very tolerant of mistakes. That's just my nature. I'm going to get rid of some of my Buddhas as well.
Where would you like it, Rowena?
Just in a little bit.
Didn't quite put it in the right place.
I'll do it. God.
Is there a right place?
What do you do? Cure your eyes.
It's been a long day.
I'm back at the house near Bath. Since my first visit, Rowena and Mike have got serious about business and have now done away with their uninspiring one-page website. With agreement on the name, designers have created a new one to promote the B&B far and wide. But this won't be enough to really up the occupancy rate and turn the business around. So I've pulled some strings and set up 2 meetings with high-profile corporate clients who have the power to put this charming B&B on the map. Rowena will need to draw on all the business sense she has learnt whilst under my watch.
Today's really important because it's a culmination of all the work that we've done so far. This is her chance to show me that she's really taken on board the lessons I've been trying to teach her. It's also a really good business opportunity. This is a chance to sell a lot more rooms.
But it's not all on Rowena. I want Mike to pull his fair share. It's vital they work as a team and prove themselves as professionals by sealing a deal together. And unbeknown to them, the people they'll negotiate with have already stayed at the house. 7 days ago, I sent them in undercover to test drive the B&B as regular guests.
Can I just get you to put your name, email and phone number there, please?
Louise Hodges is Head of Communications and Global Campaign Coordinator for Travelzoo, one of the most important hotel retailers on the planet. Winner of Best Deal Provider at the British Travel Awards 4 years on the trot, Travelzoo has a global audience of over 29 million subscribers.
You've got everything, towels and everything.
When I come back later, will there be somebody?
Oh, we'll be in the bar.
I won't be late, but just...
Oh, no, we'll be in the bar, don't worry.
Well, this is the breakfast room, so as I say, we set up breakfast here and 7 o'clock.
Eugene Rea is Head of Marketing and Communications at Bureau Happold Engineering, an international company with offices in Bath.
So, hope it's big enough.
With a high number of visiting business partners, a corporate deal with Eugene's company could win regular bookings throughout the year.
So I'll leave you with the key. If you need anything, I'll be downstairs.
Okay, thanks.
They have the power to bring in bulk business that could transform the B&B's fortunes. Now they're coming back to deliver their verdicts. It's crucial that Rowena and Mike are at the top of their game.
Negotiating any kind of deal, whether it's with corporate business or with travel agents, requires inside-out knowledge of your business. You have to know how much it costs you to put on a room. Then you can decide on a bottom figure that you're happy with. And then you have to stick to it, or you'll be losing money rather than making it. So, Rowena and Mike. This is Eugene Rea, who is the Director of Marketing and Communications at Bureau Happold.
We meet again. I didn't suspect. Neither of us suspected, did we?
This is their chance to bring in much-needed new guests and start making money.
Well, I can see straight away you've got a new name there. Monk Spring, really nice. The feeling that I felt when I stayed here is that you both have a really nice, relaxed feel about you, and that's really lovely. But the question originally for me was, is this a place for business people? And it's convenience to Bath.
As a business person, I wouldn't see any attraction of staying outside.
Well, no, you're doing yourself down there. There is attraction. Yeah, but because there is a...
As a business person, I wouldn't stay here about their own property.
Well, thanks very much for coming, Eugene.
Not at all.
Very good to see you again.
Pleasure.
See you again,
You
Eugene.
too.
Okay.
Thanks very much.
That was agony.
It was, but it wasn't what I was expecting.
Okay, well, two things. First of all, do not apologise for what you've got. What you need to say is actually what we are is a family-run bed and breakfast. We have a bar in addition. We think we'd give a really good personal service. Stick up for your business, for God's sake.
My next big hitter has the potential to advertise the B&B to over 4 million subscribers in the UK alone. But Rowena and Mike need to up their game.
Come on in. Thank you. Thanks. Rowena and Mike, Louise Hodges, who is Head of Communications for Travelzoo.
I know, we should have worked it out.
One of the things that you have here is, obviously you've got a lovely setting, but you also offer things like, breakfast included. So that's the positives.
With the niceties out of the way, Louise gets straight down to business.
We'd be looking for a discount of about 30% minimum. But that discount doesn't have to be just off the hotel room rate. It could be in a sort of a benefit that people will perceive to be of value. So, for example, a free glass of Prosecco on arrival, maybe afternoon tea, an offer in a packaged experience, so people have got a reason to come here.
Would trying to get a deal with the pub next door be any good?
Yep, absolutely.
Back to your commission. Is it fixed or is it open to negotiation?
It's open to negotiation, but
How low would you be prepared to go?
I don't think we could go below the 25%.
25%.
Yeah.
If we were doing a £99 deal, you'd take 25% of that. Is that right?
Yeah.
It may seem a lot, but by increasing your occupancy rate, you lower the cost of providing each individual room. Mike and Rowena's £65 room costing could be slashed to £45 if they get more heads on beds.
Are we tied into a
No,
contract?
it's very flexible. So
Much better. So all the right things are sounding very professional. And this is much how I want them to appear and present themselves.
How many rooms do you think you'd be able to sell for us per month, roughly?
I think over the 3-month deal period, if I look at the hotel we work with, it's a really similar situation. They've got 14 rooms, they're outside of Bath. Over 3 months, they sold 400 room nights.
Well, that's been really useful.
Yeah.
And I think the best thing is for us to cost it all up, get back to you.
We look at hotels that have got 95% and above TripAdvisor ratings, and it's great to see that you're in that category.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Nice to see you again.
So that was brilliant. Thank you so much. Really
Pleasure.
appreciate your time. It's kind of opened up another avenue to them, and I think that's an avenue that they desperately need.
Rowena and Mike have managed to win over one of the biggest hotel retailers in the world.
Travel Zoo is so exciting for me.
Cheers. You did brilliantly with Louise, by the way.
Really?
I felt very proud of you both. I think, and she's really
It's
keen.
exposure as well.
Yeah. And I think it'll make such a
Oh,
difference. It'll stand you in good stead. All in all, I mean, you've come quite a long way mentally in quite a short space of time. Right?
Oh, cheers.
Thanks for putting up with me. The success or the failure of the business is in their hands, and it's all about control, and it's all about control of the financial purse strings. You know, if they can crack that, they've already got the hospitality bit nailed, they're going to be fine.
I'm proud of Rowena and Mike. I'm leaving them with a real identity and a lot more business sense than they started with.
Since the beginning, we've evolved from being a non-entity almost. Probably give us that confidence, you see, to go a bit further.
Hopefully now we will swim in the same pool and go in the right way. So, yeah, I mean, time will tell, but I think we're getting there. So, start of a new era. Are we going to get on better?
No.
No, of course we're not.